Hello everyone and welcome back to another Wizard101 video. Today, yes today, you've heard that right, today, we're going to be talking about the Moon School, Wizard101 Moon School. Now, we've been talking about schools for the last few days. We talked about my least favorite school, then we talked about the underrated schools, which by the way, apparently death is just a lot more common in this game than I thought, because apparently everyone picks it. But I never see death wizards around, so maybe I'm just, like, anti-death. Like, I radiate an aura that just, like, makes people not want to be near me if they're death. I don't know, something like that. But we're continuing on that line of thought. And today we're talking about another school, a severely neglected school, an awful school, all of the above, and that is Moon. Now, I know I've memed in the past and said that Moon School is better than Storm, because I think it's really funny when Storm Wizards feel sad because we roast their school. But, let's be honest, Moon School is absolute garbage. It's trash, it's not good, and it hasn't been good since it was released in the game, and it's not legitimately better than Storm. So, Moon School, you get it around level 50s with Astral Magic, like from 52 to 58. And you can see here, there's a lot of things. The premise behind it is that you polymorph into something for a few rounds and have a different set of spells, a different amount of health, all that kind of stuff, which is just a little bit PogChamp. Now, they also introduced in Chrysalis, to try to kind of boost Moon School a bit, they introduced these things called shift spells, which basically are moon spells where you can shift into a creature, do some damage, and do a little bit of an effect. It's actually not half bad, but still, you would never use it. So, let's get into the problems with Moon School, starting with these original spells. The problem with the original spells right now is that they haven't been updated since Celestia came out in like 2010, right? And the problem with that is back in 2010, 5,000 health was more than what you could get as a wizard, right? Well, fun fact, Polymorph Gobbler, right, sets your health to 5,000, but nowadays, that's actually a debuff for most schools. Even Storm, that's a debuff for, which obviously is a problem. If I remember correctly, and I'm almost positive I do, it doesn't scale to your health. It just sets it at 5k, and this is specifically Polymorph Gobbler, I believe, because spells like Polymorph Bandit set it to like 3,500, and they're each at a different thing. So that is one significant problem with them, is that it kind of is just a nerf when you use it. But another important thing to note is that the spells that you have in the spell pool are just straight garbage. Like, there's legitimately no reason to polymorph into one of these things because they don't offer anything for you. Like, the way that King's Isle could fix these immediately is just make it so that each of them have a powerful, unique spell that only they can use that legitimately does a lot of damage. For example, like, if you morph into a Death Ninja Pig, or Polymorph Ninja, you had a unique version of Death Ninja Pig that did like double damage to the usual one, so it did like a base of like 800 plus the debuff. It would have a legitimate use to it, and I also could see that these might be useful in PvP if they did something like that. They make it so that, one, it scales to your health, two, that there is legitimate stuff. Also, I'm tired of the Celestia music despite only walking around here for 4 minutes. So, something like that, right? Like Polymorph Bandit, beyond making it so that it has better spells, give it like a unique spell, so like a bandit attack kind of thing that did like a base set damage that was really good. Another thing, and this for me would fix them the most, is make it so it scales to your level. Why this would be good is it makes it so that they're still viable at a late level, because obviously you can't give a level 50 polymorph spells like Leviathan, spells like Storm Owl, the future Storm spells, but what you can do is make it so that at level 100 it scales, so then boom, you have those spells. It would at least make it so that it is better significantly. Now, I've kind of talked about all of these spells, how to make them better, scaling, all that kind of stuff. But what about the shift spells? What do I think about them? What's popping with these? Well, I actually do like these shift spells significantly more than the normal polymorphs, probably because they were made only like 5 years ago rather than 10 years ago. It means that they're more up to date, and you can see that they really are. They don't do a ton of damage, but they do have some effects that make them unique and you might want to use. But I would still say that the problem with these is that they feel underpowered despite that. Like you can see, 390 here, which, okay, so 460 is the highest damage one you can see. I feel like that's still actually kind of underpowered. I think it would be good if, like, the Storm one was around 600, and then the weakest one being, it would look like, is the Life one or the Myth one, which is strange that the Ice one is stronger, but say make that, like, 450, something, somewhere in there, just as a way to make it more useful, because I think a lot of people look at damage for spells, and if they look at something that does like 400 damage like this, and it costs like 3 pips, they're just like, why don't I just use Tempest? And there's no reason not to, because there isn't a reason to use these. I think that it would be cool if they made a reason, and the way that they would, beyond upping the damage, would make them have like a legitimately good, unique effect. Like, one of these had, like, a significant weakness debuff, which I think one of them has a weakness debuff. Well, yeah, okay, so this one has a weakness minus 25 and then a minus 50 to health. This could be something that I would see useful in PvP. Actually, that's not bad at all. Do people use this in PvP? Tell me, you PvP people, because there are some strange people in this world that do PvP. Do people use the shift spells in PvP? Because I could see them being somewhat useful, right? Like this. Like, Shift Grendel looks like it could be useful. And so does Shift Sugar Glider. I don't know. I just don't really know. In PvE, I don't really see them being useful, and they would have to improve them a little bit. But really, that's my synopsis. It's been 7 minutes, but it feels like it's been like 2. I guess I'm just passionate about talking about moon schools. Let me know what you think. Do you agree? Do you think that obviously a lot of you probably will agree that moon school needs to be updated, but do you agree with how I went about it? Do you think that they should do something else? Do you think moon school should be touched at all? Do you think it should just be left alone to rot and die like the forgotten stepchild that it is? Like, it could just be left alone to die, and that's actually probably what it is going to be, now that I think about it. Because let's be honest, King's Isle really doesn't like going back and upping features that they need to. I really think that Polymorph has a unique potential, and it looks cool in theory, cool in concept, but really it's just been neglected for a long time and needs that fixer-up that King's Isle hasn't done yet. So, that's it for today. Again, let me know in the comments if you agree, disagree, whatever, your ideas, all that kind of stuff. But that's it. I'll see you next video. Have a fantastic day. Thank you all for watching.